2017 is over and done with, and so is my willingness to watch Jackie Chan movies. There were quite a few good movies in 2017. These are not those movies. These are, according to me and only me, the worst movies of 2017. Trust me, this list could have been 20 movies long. But I have better things to do than make my cardiologist richer. These movies didn't just disappoint me. There's a video for those. As we'll see, each of these movies has a certain something that I found not just unenjoyable, but inexcusable. In the description, you'll find a link to a playlist of the reviews of all the movies I mention in this video. And remember, this is just my opinion. If you have an opinion, you can make your own video. So here we go in descending order. Think about it. Love Contractually tells the story of a woman who's a smart, rich, powerful executive whose life is a yawning chasm of emptiness because she doesn't have a man. Profoundly chauvinistic and insultingly dumb, this movie should contract in on itself until it disappears. I should also point out that Joe Chang and Sammy Chang are not to blame, and they do the best with what they're given, but this movie is just another pile of sexist garbage. I always refuse to watch and review Jackie Chan movies for personal reasons. Then I watched Kung Fu Yoga and picked up about 50 more. Kung Fu Yoga's only notable features are the dance segment at the end and the depths to which it sinks in objectifying and stereotyping the people and culture of India. If and when an Indian film did something similar to or about Chinese people, I think there would be a reaction. The negative features of this movie are too numerous to mention, which can also be said of Bleeding Steel, which also stars Jackie Chan and a whole lot of stunt doubles. Nice mask. A movie so bad the executives at the Sci-Fi Channel would laugh at it. Bleeding Steel shows that there are no depths to which Jackie Chan will not sink to try and make a buck. At this point, the people of Hong Kong abandoning their once favorite son can be explained purely from an artistic standpoint. Even if Jackie Chan never said anything about politics, his recent track record of movies more than rationalizes Hong Kongers wanting nothing to do with Jackie Chan. Add me to that list. The Chan ban is back in effect. Speaking of being banned, Chapman Toe was blacklisted in China after posting some supportive comments during the Occupy protests in 2014. I don't know how much that experience affected him, but I do know that I'd rather sleep on a road for 79 days than watch The Empty Hands again. The only thing worse than an art movie is a movie trying to be an art movie and failing. Just because art movies are slow, opaque, and disinterested in narrative doesn't mean that when you make a movie that's slow, opaque, and disinterested in narrative that you've made an art movie. Sometimes it's just a boring, pretentious mess. Donnie Yen movies are never boring or pretentious, because those two ideas rely on subtlety, restraint, and intelligence. Chasing the Dragon displays none of those things. This movie couldn't spell historical revisionism, but it sure indulges in it. This movie doesn't talk about history, it shouts about it. But it shouts about everything. Then again, when you're making an argument based on a willful distortion that tries to excuse abominable behavior, these men were forced to become criminal kingpins because the British refused to stop corruption, you just end up sounding like a Global Times editorial. If Donnie Yen wants to suck the China market this much, more power to him. Recently, I wasn't hired to work on his new movie. For the third time. I'm apparently too tall to be in Donnie Yen movies. It's not that he's too short or that he's insecure about it. No, it's my fault because I'm too tall. Boston doesn't miss you, Donnie. Speaking of insecure, the flaming dramasexual Fire Lee managed to create a movie so misogynistic, tone-deaf, and exploitative that Harvey Weinstein probably wants to buy it. Talk about mean, ugly, and uninspired. Husband killers, not the director. An exercise in meretricious self-congratulation. That is a euphemism. Husband Killers wallows in all the worst parts of the movies that it ostensibly pays homage to. It's not rare for me to feel insulted when I leave a cinema. Feeling degraded was new, though, and I have no desire to repeat it. Which I can say only because I watched Husband Killers later than what is, by a wide margin, the worst movie of 2017, Manhunt. Someone call the cops. John Woo has gone missing. He's been replaced by someone who recycles all of John Woo's trademarks and cliches, but does so with an embarrassing script full of awful dialogue, a cast of widely disparate acting abilities, and a cinematographer who needs to go back to whatever cheap video production house they dragged him out of. Manhunt is one of those movies that you actually need to see to truly appreciate how soul-destroyingly awful it is, because that's what makes it the worst movie of the year. If it was Vegas to Macau 15, it wouldn't be so bad, unless I was in it. But this is John Woo, and to see him sink to this level is just depressing. Manhunt is so awful that you can't help but wonder if it's a parody. It may as well be. It wouldn't make it any better, but it would make it easier to watch. A little. The only person who's happy about what John Woo and, for insurance, Jackie Chan did is Barbara Wong, because she didn't release Girls vs. Gangsters in 2017. So I'll have to make it the worst movie of 2018, from what I've read. There you have it, folks. Those are my worst movies of 2017. Remember, this is just my opinion. I hope you've enjoyed this trip to the bottom. Now let's all go back up and get some air. It stinks down here.